Hi, beautiful. I'm really happy and excited to have you here. I'm so glad that you discovered Luminous Birth and that these teachings are touching your life. I always say they have and continue to touch mine deeply. I'm really over the moon that our signature birth preparation series is now pretty much open door to everyone. I've been delivering this program for the last nearly 7 years. It's been hugely impactful, really successful beyond what I ever anticipated. But the thing is that it's only up until now been available through one-on-one mentorship with me. Now I've just introduced our newly tiered system, which is essentially giving everyone access. So I want to give you a virtual tour through the program. First, I'm just going to show you the website, show you the three pathways that you can choose from, depending on what's right for you. And then I'll give you a little tour through the virtual library of classes, our class womb. So let's head on in. I'll share my screen. And where we're going first is the Luminous Birth website. If you haven't been here before, you can go luminousbirth.earth. So our signature series is Transform into Birth. So let's head on to that page. Here you find pretty much everything you need to know about the program. You have a lot of testimonials. This is a real sovereign birth framework that really awakens the original wisdom of birth that is encoded in your DNA, setting you and your family up for maximum health, deepest fulfillment, and lifelong resilience. That is a big statement. That's a big promise. And I fully, wholeheartedly believe that this program really accesses the deeper dimensions of family creation that even a lot of the most advanced and breakthrough models of prenatal care and birth education don't quite access. And there's something that we all know deep down in our bone marrow is possible when it comes to family life and creative living and succeeding in these realms of parenting and family life, that I believe Transform into Birth really gets into the heart of it all. So that's what this is really about. Transform into Birth is not just a program that prepares you for birth, that delivers you the most comprehensive birth education, but simultaneously really sets the foundation for a lifetime of love that continues to blossom and expand throughout your lifetime. Health, right? Fulfillment. What really is it, and how do we activate that? Well, I always say the codes for this are really built in to pregnancy and birth. Um, so there's lots of parent testimonials. What you'll notice about a lot of our testimonials is they're not only testimonials from mothers, but also fathers. One of the big things about this birth preparation program is that we include fathers, not just to emphasize their role in pregnancy and birth, but to actually revere the transformational pathway that they are also on as they become a father. And I see time and time again that that fathers being supported in the way they need and innately deserve actually radically transforms birth outcomes. And all the mothers that have been through the entirety of the program and harnessed that aspect of what this program offers attests to that. So I believe that fathers becoming so involved is a real testament to the times that we're in and the new way of living that we're really moving into and creating directly for ourselves, our children, and the future generations. So the thing about Transform into Birth is that whether you're preconception or already pregnant, this program is for you. Transform into Birth embodies what all of the most advanced pre and perinatal sciences actually teaches, which is that Human development begins long before conception, and all babies need the same thing when they're growing in the womb. They need a relaxed, happy mama. Well, wouldn't that be great then if mamas were already confident in being pregnant and giving birth before they got pregnant? Of course, it's ideal, but at the same time, it should be real, right? It shouldn't just be idealistic. This is a more than realistic option for most people. We spend our days and the times of our lives reading, listening to things, learning about things, and doing all kinds of things. It's about time that we actually prioritize the preparation of family creation, and that begins long before conception. When you enter pregnancy confidently, then you don't need to spend the whole duration of your pregnancy learning, unlearning, educating, all these things. You can rather just do what you feel like doing. Spend time in nature, do the things that bring you joy, that make you feel good, that make you feel connected to your partner, to your baby, to your body, to your beauty. And you can really navigate your pregnancy and birth with confidence, with love, and with ease. So, in transform into birth, whether you're preconception or whether you're already pregnant, whether this is your first baby or your third or fourth or 10th, transform into birth was really made for you. There's three different pathways. So you have first the self-led pathway, and this gives you lifetime access to our full sovereign birth framework. So you'll have lifetime access to the complete Transform into Birth curriculum. The beautiful thing about complete is that I'm actually adding to this library continuously. There will be stellar pieces that are added over the months, over the years. There will be upgrades always taking place, and you have access to it all lifelong. There's 19 modules. There's 100 plus beautifully guided classes, downloadable PDFs, done for you checklists, templates, and integration tools. You also have access to a workshop that guides you to heal your own birth, your own life in utero, your own conception, and these are the ultimate imprints that inform your beliefs about birth and that inform your values, which inform all of your decision making. This is why Transform into Birth is a truly sovereign birth framework, because it acknowledges that every single person's birth preparation is different. It is not a one size fits all. Your birth preparation is different than every other woman you know. Why? Because you were born differently. We all have our own unique birth story. And when we're pregnant and when we give birth, that story arises. So your preparation is unique. And that is what makes this program so profound and radically transformational. Every woman who has been through this program and has harnessed that aspect of the program of being able to heal their own births, papas do this work too. They say they believe that this was the number one thing that enabled them to have the peaceful, blissful birth at home that they were envisioning. So then you have the guided path, and the guided path is everything in the self-led path, but you also receive personal support and community. You have a 1 year membership to our live community calls. Yes, I go live every single week on Thursdays, and everyone in the program and the community comes together. You can get personal support inside of that space. You feel the power of being held in a community of other radiant mamas, other parents who are foraging their own sovereign path of family creation, of harmonious living from all parts of the world, from all backgrounds. And every fourth Thursday, I bring in a VIP guest speaker. That is typically a pioneer in pre and perinatal psychology, a true living elder or wisdom keeper. These are people who are renowned in the fields, okay, of conception, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, parenting, perinatal development, early child development. These are people that have 20, 30, 40, even 50 plus years of experience supporting mothers, babies, and families. This is one of the most valuable aspects of the program. So you get access to that every single month. Recordings are always there, replays are always available. You have a schedule on the community platform where you can see who's going to be teaching when. You have priority access to bonus classes, special ceremonies, workshops, live events. I am organizing and hosting things all the time. It's my passion. I love it. So you get access, priority access to everything that I host for the entirety of your 1 year membership. And then last but definitely not least, you get the fully embodied path. The fully embodied path is everything in the self-led and the guided path, plus one-on-one private sessions with me. This is really the deep emotional, spiritual, and relational support. This is where we can really harness the opportunity to work deeply with your own birth and pre-birth healing and re-imprinting. It is also where we can offer and extend profound levels of support for you and your partner. Your relationship is the sanctuary from where your family will thrive lifelong. You get priority scheduling and you have ongoing direct messaging access with me for an entire year. So, in the fully embodied path, you get 5 unrushed sessions with me. Every single one of those will be hugely supportive, deeply anchoring, and likely very transformative in how you experience pregnancy and birth. With that said, you don't need to necessarily use one of your sessions just to get support. You may have something coming up for you right now, in which case you can send me a voice note and I will get back. I will send you a reflection, send you feedback, and you may be able to actually just have whatever it is that's alive for you or coming up for you resolved in that moment. Likewise, even once your sessions are complete, your support doesn't discontinue. Well, even when your baby's born, your support doesn't discontinue. This fully embodied path gives you 1 full year of direct access to me and ongoing support. I walk with you hand in hand as you go through this journey. So you can go through the rest of this website. Um, there's lots here. There's lots of testimonials, as I said. If you want to choose your path, all you do is click choose my path. There's lots of those buttons on this web page. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you over to the classroom. So once you've enrolled in any one of these pathways, you then get access to our school community. You have the community forum where you can write and share and interact. This community forum is open to everyone. Okay, it's open to everyone in the self-led path. It's open to everyone in the guided and the fully embodied path. You have access to the calendar. You can see our live events. You can see our guest teachers that are scheduled, though you do need to be in the guided path or the fully embodied path to have access to the password, which gives you access to these events. If you're in the guided or the fully embodied path or any of the paths, you have access to the classroom. So here you can see the 19 modules that are here for you. And I can't walk you through everything. There's just so much. However, I will give you a little sneak peek. So in here's your transcribing living memory journey. This is the workshop of healing your own birth, pre-birth, conception, and preconception experiences. I break it down for you. I guide you. You have the audios. I walk you through step by step how to do that journey. And then in module 1, you have the foundations of birth preparation. So a sovereign approach, right? We're not saying you should birth like this or birth with them or birth over here or over there. We're not saying the medical model is bad, the midwifery is the safest, or you should free birth. None of that. This is sovereign, and in that I give you all of the information that you need to make fully informed decisions based on knowledge of all of the alternatives. So, to be truly sovereign, you want to be able to navigate any one of these realms. While you may be intending a free birth, you might want to opt for one of the tests that are available for you through the conventional model. You might want to consult with a midwife. Well, I'm not here to tell you this is for you or this is not for you. I'm here to give you all of the information that empowers freedom of choice and sovereignty. So there you have, yeah, choosing the model that is best for you, choosing your birth witnesses, and who gets to be at your birth. We have forgotten that birth is a sacred, holy day of falling irreversibly in love. It's a celebration of love. It's a celebration of life. It isn't the medical, pathological scenario that Western approach has painted. It really is a sacred event. And so whoever gets to be at your birth ought to feel how special they are and what a blessing it is to be invited. So we go into those kind of nuances and new perspectives. But in my experience, when we go into these so-called new perspectives, we realize, huh, that just makes a whole lot of sense. That's how it really should be, isn't it? So as you can see, a lot of these classes, this one in particular, is 6 minutes. You then have some classes like this one that is 24 minutes. You also have classes that are longer. Um, for example, I believe this one is an hour, right? But you have the option also to increase the speed, increase your listening time if you'd like. The beauty is that you have an application on your phone. You can listen to these classes, and take in this beautiful information while you drive down the road, while you garden, while you're soaking in the tub or cooking dinner. It's all here. I give you beautiful resources along the way and integrations, um, different techniques, different done for you lists, questions to ask your midwife. I also give you beautiful podcast episodes that have been helpful for me and others on the path, by other teachers, and foremost leading voices in birth. We look at, yeah, an introduction to birth psychology, and a big pillar in this approach, in this framework of birth preparation. Just like we include fathers and birth partners, we also include the baby not only as a conscious participant, but as the number one experts in their lives, which means in pregnancy, birth, and beyond. So as you go through this, you're going to become very, very good at refining your communication with baby and feeling absolutely confident in hearing what it is your baby is saying. So, in the first trimester, Model 2 is all about the first trimester. And this is so big. These are the classes where people go, "Oh my gosh, I am so glad that I did this before conception," because we honor the whole welcoming of baby, which is a huge part of all of our lives. A very integral, informative, and yeah, informative part of all of our history was how we were welcomed. That is the discovery moment when mama realized we were there growing in her womb. All of these are formative milestones on our journey of coming into our lives. So this is beautiful that you can actually become aware of how can you maximize and fully be in that first trimester even before it arrives. We look at everything, right? Yeah, the pregnancy test, miscarriage, and variations of normal in the first trimester. There is so much going on at this developmental period. So there's some really critical things here to look at, like rethinking iron supplementation. Very big topic, very much overlooked. We need to look at that a lot closer. Um, these are vital, vital, vital things. There's huge, surgence of things like tongue ties in newborns, and it is strongly correlated to things like iron supplements and the typical prenatal vitamins that we've been giving to women for decades, and we actually really need to reevaluate this. And it comes from having a really good foundation of education. So I provide that in this program. You have beautiful affirmations for welcoming your baby, and those are wonderful to do from the beginning of pregnancy, throughout pregnancy, and certainly after birth. In module 3, you have navigating routine tests and procedures. So I go into common myths like, of course, the due date and other things. Of course, the first test that you'll be offered, cervical checks, everything, blood pressure assessment, measurements, Group B strep. This is something you'll want to um, consider before pregnancy or while you're pregnant, gestational diabetes, all of these things that you're going to have thousands of women talking about around you, and a whole system that is, reinforcing to be assessed for, that you can navigate that consciously. I also share lots of pieces on ultrasound reconsiderations, new considerations, ultrasound alternatives, talking to baby through any interventions that you may be opting for. Even when you are opting for interventions, it's very important that you stay aware that there there is a conscious, sentient human being that is in this experience with you. Um, and so, how to talk to them, how to soften the experience for them, how to make all of the energies that they are exposed to organize, how to assist all those energies that babies are exposed to in their environment to organize correctly inside of their systems. In other words, we help their epigenetic expression to be optimal. In other words, we help babies to grow integrated. In other words, we help babies to remember who they are and to become highly aware of what it is that we can say projecting on them, or that we are exposing them to. So all of this is great. Again, I call upon some of the uh, people that I feel give excellent voices to some of these things. Yolanda Norris Clark, I've linked in podcast episodes here by her. And we also have teachings and classes that have been given or have been recorded by other um, pioneers and foremost leading voices. So here you can see Dr. Sarah Buckley, author of Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering, and she's really coined a lot of the terminology that birth keepers like myself borrow when it comes to the ecstatic blueprint of pregnancy and birth. So she gives two incredibly important classes here, oxytocin in childbirth, the hormone of love, as well as interventions and the impacts on oxytocin. Her teachings are phenomenal, and all of her work is phenomenal. So she, among others, have generously provided classes for this course that you'll have access to. I really take you into the heart of birth. This is all about falling in love, right? We've called it all kinds of things. I like to call it falling in love. So you have beautiful classes in here on, birth as a celebration of love, the entheogenic nature of birth. What does that even mean? The brainwave states of labor and birth, creating the field. I love the reframe from pain relieving techniques into receiving techniques. So we move out of the relieving and we move into the receiving, and we alchemically transform the sensations of birth. And this is a radical reframe that really goes far. I'm always saying birth is already happening, and it truly is, even if you've yet to conceive. We really go into birth wisdom. So, as much as this is an incredible, incredible program that introduces the most frontier and advanced pre and perinatal and life sciences, um, it also is anchored in the ancient original wisdom of birth and guided by the intelligence of natural law. And I can see that this is really a gorgeous synthesis of science and spirit, of ancient original wisdom and frontier science, of also earth consciousness. It's such a truly holistic approach. I often reference Sunny Carl. She was pivotal in my learning. I attended the Sacred Birthing School and apprenticed extensively with Barbara Essman, the co-founder alongside of Sunny Carl and director of the Sacred Birthing School. I've done all of the trainings, as well as a teacher training through the Sacred Birthing School, everything from birth doula and preconception to advanced doula trainings, birthing the next generation, death doula trainings through that school. And Sunny Carl is actually the author of the book, Sacred Birthing, Birthing a New Humanity. She's written others like Making Love to Source and Conceiving Souls of Magnificence. Recommend those. There's lots of book lists throughout this program. But yes, from scared to sacred, I really reference her in this class and many other classes because she helps us with these reframes. So, sensuality, beauty, and the joy of pregnancy. This is a wonderful piece on, well, reconsiderations for what prenatal care could look like. This is all a return to radiance. There's some beautiful, beautiful journal prompts that are offered to you throughout this program. So, um, yes, biomechanics of pregnancy, so reclaiming instinctual movement, mobility, decompression, unlocking, and recoding to your original movement patterns. This module is so, so, so important. Pregnant mamas, it is during pregnancy when you have access to your highest peak levels of health and performance. And no one really talks about this. And all of the discomforts that come up, be it swollen feet, be it sore back, tight hips, none of these things are caused by pregnancy. All of these things are illuminated by pregnancy when the body is really at its highest level of performance. The things that are not in balance, not in harmony, get illuminated. These biomechanics, and I say birth is the most biomechanic event of our lives. It requires movement. It is movement. We need to be moving well. We need to be moving in accordance with our original design. And through that module, I walk you through that. So it's a lot of decompressing, getting back to your original shape. Um, then you have human rights in birth. I won't go through all of these just for time, but yeah, human rights, policy versus law, consent, circumcision, the history of obstetrics. Also, you have some really important pieces in here, like a documentary called The Business of Being Born. Really a great, powerful, insightful. Yes, here it is. The Business of Being Born. You have the full documentary in here. Um, really highly recommend. Um, so, yes, what are your human rights, policy versus law? All of those things are in this module. Yeah, first of all, you have human rights in birth, and a lot of people, don't know that. Consent and your right to pass. Lots of pieces on um, circumcision, and also lots of resources and human rights companions. So I've really broken it down for you. Again, a nice podcast episode from the Free Birth Society where they really go into the history of obstetrics. I highly recommend their podcast. I also have a list on here of recommended podcasts for pregnancy. We have nourishment. We go into ancestral nourishment for mamas, healing our relationship to food, nutrient-dense foods for preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum. Herbalism, we have an amazing medical herbalist, Poppy Burr, who also specializes in traditional Chinese medicine, hair tissue mineral analysis, and more. So she teaches in that module. We have the legendary Kate Birch, founder of Free and Healthy Children International, teaching on homeopathy and homeoprophylaxis and the immune system. So, immune system basics for the gestating mother, childhood homeoprophylaxis. So, remembering how does our immune system become educated and how to keep the immunity of all children intact. This is essential for not only lifelong health but lifelong happiness, lifelong sense of belonging and interconnectedness with our world. Hugely important. We go into all the things that we don't like, many people don't like to touch on, all the uncomfortable places, discussions on vaccines. Kate Birch is a leading voice and pioneer of our time, leading researcher. She teaches practitioners all over the world and has more than 3 decades of experience and research in these realms. Highly competent, highly reputable. We go into the um, the microbiome. I also include the documentary as well here called Microbirth. Highly recommend. So, just to come to a close, you can see there is so much here. We have love and creating sanctuaries. So, huge emphasis on the relationship, right? The alchemy of creation, the alchemy of pregnancy and birth. It is all designed to set up a family that thrives, to set up a relationship that gets through all life's challenges with exceptional confidence and ease and unconditional love. If you want the recipe, it is in this program. And all the couples that have been through this program over the years can testify that this is integral. Many of the couples that I know of that have been through this program are still together and thriving today. Does it mean that they don't go through challenges? No, but it means that they grow and blossom and flourish through those challenges together. Dr. Stuart Savatsky is really a mentor of Luminous Birth, and he brings into this program um, admiration therapy. This is the lens through which I have worked with for years with couples that have been through these programs, which is a model of therapeutic approach that transcends even the most advanced therapeutic breakthrough models today. Certainly transcends the limitations of marriage and family therapy and really helps couples and families to blossom in the right direction lifelong. We have others in here who are um, really helping to essentially bulletproof your relationship so that it can continue to blossom even when the added challenges of parenting exist. Honoring men in pregnancy and birth, there's a really beautiful, beautiful module for the men. So this is a beautiful recording of a panel we did. Dr. Nathan Riley, Holistic OBGYN, teaches this class for the men, Fatherhood, the Ultimate Flex and Test of Masculinity. We have David Arl. He is the author of Welcome to Fatherhood, or WTF. He's offered several of his classes in this module, as well as an incredible discount on his whole course. One of my elders and mentors who I've mentioned, Barbara Essman, teaches the men's role in pregnancy and birth. And then we have resilience and mastery coach, Michael Osterlang, teaching pieces for our men, how to become the man your relationship needs. Understanding your inner landscape, healing and transforming your inner challenges. I teach these pieces on, becoming a father as the single most powerful maturational milestone of a man's life. Did you know that he changes alchemically as well? He goes through a huge hormonal upgrade as he becomes a father. Often overlooked, men are not given the recognition that they need and innately deserve on their path of fatherhood. And there are huge implications to this, including divorces, separations, relationship challenges down the road, and I touch on every single one of them. This is a deep and beautiful inner journey of all of us coming back into a right relationship with pregnancy, birth, and overall life. So we have a whole module on prenatal consciousness. So prenatal bonding, the lifelong implications of birth, intimacy and authenticity. Yes, the humans that are incarnating on planet Earth at this time, they vibrate the harmonic of authenticity. And prenatal bonding doesn't need to be that hard to understand. It is all about cultivation of relationship. What cultivates strong relationship? Intimacy, truth telling, authenticity. We go into all of those areas in this module, prenatal consciousness. Epigenetics, so healing your own birth, looking at transgenerational imprints, epigenetic reprogramming, writing a new story. So this is the prenatal consciousness module. And then the next module is on epigenetics, incredible as well. Um, it's really tapping you into the power that you have to write a new story, not only for yourself, but to for your lineages, right? And we have Elder Barbara Essman attending to your transgenerational imprints. This is done by Anne Diamond Weinstein. She is a true pioneer in the field of prenatal and perinatal psychology. She wrote one of the most influential books on prenatal development and parents' lived experiences. Um, Great influence to me in my studies of pre and perinatal psychology. So, yeah, how do we really write a new story? And here's some beautiful pieces of education that can really inspire you in the right direction. Um, and then lots of pieces. So, unlocking your voice, womb consciousness, the throat yoni connection, frequency, and prenatal development. So, how to harness the power of frequency, how to remember frequency and sound as who we truly are, and using that as a vehicle for optimal prenatal development. Remarkable. Like this, I won't open it because there's so much, and I want to try to keep this as short as possible. But we go into the third trimester. This deserves its own module. Yes, protecting birth, setting up your layers of support, the blessing way, stages of birth, preparing baby for their upcoming journey. One of the most critical pieces that gets overlooked is actually talking to the baby about this big journey, this big change that's about to happen, their journey of birth and what they might expect. That is one of the most amazing pieces to help prepare baby for their journey, and that really eases the experience of birth for both mother and baby. So I go through everything there, the stages of birth, all of it. Then the magical hour, right? The sacred hours following birth, looking at skin on skin, bonding, the hour after birth, placenta care, cord and placenta rituals, breastfeeding, and then, of course, the fourth trimester. That sacred window, the most important window of any woman's life, the most critical threshold that is informed by everything that preceded it. The birth, the pregnancy, the conception, the preconception. I believe we're all in service to this so that we can protect that postpartum time. These first 40 days minimum inform the next 50 years minimum of a woman's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And the health of women inform the health of our world. I cannot emphasize this enough. Start learning about the fourth trimester even before you're pregnant. The time is now. We look at integration, helping baby to integrate their birth. Had we have been supported to integrate our own birth, we would be very, a lot more integrated today. We wouldn't have be spending all the time, money, and energy of our lives trying to remember who we are, why we came, and what is our purpose. Babies need integration support no matter what kind of birth was had. Mamas need support as they integrate the hugely transformative and transcending experience of giving birth, no matter what kind of birth she had, even and especially if it was a blissful, pain-free birth. That is something huge to grow into. That is something that up levels and transforms on a molecular fractal level every single area of your life. So integration is not only for traumatic birth experiences. Every mother, baby, family needs and innately deserves support integrating their birth. And then, of course, falling in love as a family. This postpartum time sets the stage for the decades that follow. It is during this time that you have maximum opportunity to code the next decades, to inform and imprint how you will show up in all of life that follows. Maximum opportunity, guys. Module 19, we look at, well, yeah, it's just the beginning. We think birth is the big day. It's really just the beginning. So we look at the journey ahead and next steps. We are constantly adding resources. If you are in the guided path and fully embodied path, then you'll have access to many of the live community call recordings, particularly our VIP guest speakers. So that is really what I wanted to share with you here today. I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you have questions, then put them up in the community forum. If you're already part of our school community, you can email communicate.luminousbirth@gmail.com with other questions that you might have. Or if you're like, say no more, I'm in, then just go to the website, choose your path, and sign up. I'll see you in there. And I am so honored and so thankful for your trust at this threshold of your life. I couldn't be more happy and grateful for the opportunity to support you, to support your relationship, your children, and by default, your grandchildren and great grandchildren. This is this is regenerative living. This is the real regenerative future that we are all stewarding, that we are all midwifing. Thank you for being part of this community. And I so look forward to getting to know you even deeper from within the community.